things about my photography career. How I started out, the stages that I've gone through, and kind of where I'm at right now. When I started out on this journey, I think I had always been interested in photography, and it kind of really began when the first iPhone came out. Probably just like many other photographers, that's probably how their journey started. The iPhone was kind of revolutionary. I was always one of those photographers that would take a photo and throw a filter on it and then show it to friends or family, and they'd be like, yo, you need to do this professionally. And I was like, no, probably not. And I would just go on with my day. That was probably in my early 20s. I'm 30 now, and I didn't really start taking it seriously until about four to 5 years ago. I'd always been drawn to landscapes, you know, those big, beautiful scenes that just kind of suck you in. So I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I took a loan out against my 401k, and I went and bought my gear. I started out with just the entry-level Nikon equipment. I got a laptop. At that time, it's all I could afford. And looking back on it, it was probably a blessing that that's how I started out. So then a good friend of mine asked me, you have a camera, right? I said, yeah, I just got one. He says, well, I have some family coming into town, and I want to know if you can take some photos of us. And I went, I am not your guy. I barely know how to do what I'm doing now, and that's just landscape. You want to throw people into it? No thanks. He goes, we'll pay you $100. I'm like, sign me up, when and where. It helped that they were good friends and they were understanding. And to my amazement, like, they didn't turn out that bad. I would give them a solid 3 or 4 out of 10. Like, for not having any idea what to do, it worked. And that's kind of how my whole photography career began, was that photo shoot. And after that, it slowly started moving forward. Eventually I got more clients and began growing a little bit. It was small, but it was growth nonetheless. And I always made a promise to myself that if I couldn't make a career off the entry-level basic cameras, then there was no point for me to even try to pursue this path. So for the next 3 years, I photographed with that Nikon equipment. I didn't change anything, I didn't get anything better, I just kept with that. I photographed families, weddings, seniors, you name it, I probably did it. Finding my style was incredibly difficult, probably the hardest part of this journey. As I said earlier, I copied from everybody. I copied so many different styles that people were using, so many different trends, and I just thought, if I can just find that one, the one to unlock Pandora's box, that I'll make it, I'll be great. I would say I did that for about the first 2 years. And after that, I wasn't happy. I didn't like taking pictures anymore. It just became boring. I had to stop and think, if I'm not happy, especially doing the wedding work, it's probably gonna reflect in my photographs, and the photos aren't gonna be good, and then the clients won't like them, or I don't know, maybe they will, maybe they wouldn't even notice, I don't know, that's just my dumb thinking. I finally changed back to basic editing. Clean, crisp, simple. Nothing over the top, just beautiful work. And I started moving away from really traditional type shoots. So I concentrated less on traditional poses and traditional ways of doing things, and I started doing my own thing. I started going to a very documentary and candid style of photography. And in turn, I became happy. I began to try becoming more observant and looking for the moments throughout the day and then photographing those, capturing the emotions and the people that are at the event. I think it's definitely safe to say I'm not where I want to be yet in my career. And that's okay, because I expect this to be a lifelong journey. If I'm not continually growing and learning, then what's the point of doing it? I've always been a big believer, when you see a ladder, you need to climb it. You remember in the Santa Claus movie with Tim Allen, when he runs into that ladder?
It's hard to explain.
It's the ladder.
Where the hell did this come from?
That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes in life, opportunities appear in front of us, and it's our choice whether we want to climb up that ladder or stay where we're at. There'll be days that you're pissed off, or you're sad, or you don't think reward at the end is worth the journey. You're wrong. I also thought that, and sometimes I still think that, and I'm also wrong. If you're pursuing something you're passionate about, keep going.